It's more than just football. It's orange power. 12 bowl game victories, 26 All-Americans, 2 members of the NFL Hall of Fame, and the 1988 Heisman Trophy winner. Can you feel it? Inside Cowboy Football starts right now.
Another week, another dominating performance by the Oklahoma State Cowboy offense. Hi again, everyone, and welcome to Inside Cowboy Football. I'm Dave Hunziker. Oklahoma State had 3 100-yard rushers in its 57-13 victory over Missouri State. The win gives the Cowboys momentum and a 3-0 record heading in to an off week. Coming up on our show, all the highlights of the big win and a chat with Cowboy interior defensive lineman Tongatea. So stay tuned, don't go away. Inside Cowboy Football is coming up.
It definitely feels good. You know, we wanted to get off to a good start, and 3-0 is, you know, that's where we want to be. And so we'll continue to work and just get ready for Troy.
You're watching Inside Cowboy Football.
Welcome back to Inside Cowboy Football, and joined by Oklahoma State head football coach Mike Gundy. And you wanted to get off to a quick start. Talk about, if you would, the start to the game. 22 points basically in the first 8.5 minutes.
We thought it was very important that we start fast on both sides of the ball. We feel like that we're far enough as a football team and athletic now that we can play teams that we think that we're a little better than, and we need to go out and execute. And so, as a coaching staff, our talk to them this week was to play and challenge yourself. We were excited about them coming in and playing the game. We knew that they would come out and they didn't have anything to lose. I'm glad that it rained. I'm glad that we played in some adverse conditions and allowed our players to learn how to take care of the ball when it's wet. So there were some good things that happened out there today.
The game time was changed. It was supposed to be a 6 o'clock kickoff. It moved up to noon because of the forecast for nasty weather Saturday night. Do you think that helped your guys a little bit?
Well, I thought it actually charged them up a little bit. At first, as a coach, it makes you a little nervous because you have everything planned out all week. The walkthroughs for Saturday morning, more time that you could spend on the scheme that you want to execute against the other team. Then all of a sudden they tell you we're playing at noon. And then I thought, well, if I was a player, as a college student, I'd be excited about that, an opportunity to go out and play. We do like to get up in the mornings, eat pregame meal, get ready and go play the game. And when you play a night game, boy, it's a long Saturday. You have to sit around and wait all day. But as I said earlier, I thought they handled it well, and obviously it worked out well in the end.
When you talk about the fast start, the first snap of the game for either team offensively is a fumble that Derek Burton recovers. How much does that really help a team get energized on both sides of the ball when something like that happens?
Well, turnovers obviously can make you or break you, and no matter who you're playing, you want to force turnovers, and offensively you want to take care of the football. And when you start a game out on the road like they did, and you turn the ball over early, boy, it's such a letdown for a team. And as a defense, we talked about that. You know, force turnovers early in the game, get our crowd into it.
Talk about the importance, if you would, how important it is to be able to basically run the ball when the other team knows you're trying to run it. It seemed like today was a classic example of that.
Our base offense is to run the football, and we've talked to our players about that, and obviously they knew we were going to run it late in the half, and even late in the game they put more than normal in the box, but we wanted to hand it off and execute the running game. We feel like that's how you get better as a football team, being able to just line up and run your basic formations and run the football.
On 3rd and 6 from the Missouri State 14, a handoff to Hunter up the middle, big hole to the 5, and he turns his way all the way down to the 1.5-yard line. 2nd and goal, Robinson, quarterback sneak off right guard, and he takes it into the end zone. And Bailey on for the extra point, and they run the swinging gate. They pitch it to Bo Johnson running on the left side, and he runs it into the end zone. Kirby in the shotgun takes a snap, fakes a handoff, drops back, sets up, throws it deep down the far side, and the pass is broken up, incomplete at the goal line. Robinson gets a shotgun snap on 1st and 10, fakes a handoff, rolls out right, throws it deep down the right side. The pass is caught by Bowling at the 40. Cuts to the center with a field to the 30, 20, 15, 10, 5. Pistols firing. The first career touchdown for Bo Bowling. And 3 down linemen for the Cowboys. And Kirby back to pass. Throws over the middle. The pass is batted high in the air and falls incomplete. On 2nd and 6, a handoff to Hunter. Off left guard. Big hole to the 45. To midfield. And he just pushes tacklers inside the Missouri State 45. Robinson hands it off to Hunter. Up the middle to the 5. First down. And he barrels his way into the end zone. Gunn takes a snap. Here comes a blitz. He's under pressure. Hit as he throws. And the ball goes off the receiver's fingertips. Incomplete. Good snap. Child steps into it. And this is a high booming spiral. Bryant backs up. Takes it backpedaling at the 18 on the right side. Makes a cut to the 15. Right sideline 25. Still on his feet to the 30. Spun around and finally drugged down. Kirby in the shotgun. Takes a snap. Blitz coming. Throws a screen over the middle. The pass is broken up. Incomplete. Single receiver right. Single receiver left. And Zach takes a snap. Hands it off to Hunter. Off right tackle to the 35. There he goes. 25-20. Down the right sideline to the 10. And tackled on the right sideline. Second and goal from the 4 as Robinson takes a shotgun snap. Hands it off to Hunter up the middle. And he sprints into the end zone. He stumbled but took it to the house. Got a new punt return team in there. Low snap and Child steps into it. It's a knuckleball down the center of the field. Bryant takes it at the 28. Makes a cut to his right. Runs around the right side to the 35. Makes a cut at the 40 and is spun down up at the Cowboy 46. It's a handoff to Toaston. Rather, Bo Johnson running on the left side to the 35-30. Down the left sideline to the 20, to the 15, and knocked out of bounds. First and goal, Cowboys from the Missouri State 6. Handoff to Bo Johnson up the middle, and he bounces his way around and into the end zone. Corner in the shotgun.
We're back on Inside Cowboy Football. We are celebrating the 20th anniversary of one of the great seasons in the history of college football. The 1988 Heisman Trophy campaign of Oklahoma State running back Barry Sanders. This week, a look at his 3rd game of the season, one which put him in the Oklahoma State record book.
Well, again, you know, Tulsa's pretty good offensively. I mean, you know, they had pretty good people in there, and I believe that was probably David Rader's, perhaps his first season at the University of Tulsa. I mean, if it had been a touch game, if it had been a game of touch, and it sounds bad, but if it had been a game of touch, I think he'd still had that many yards. They literally couldn't get their hands on it. Just couldn't do it. Now it was a struggle for us all season long defensively. We weren't as good defensively as we had been back in 83, 84, 85, those years. And so we had to score a lot of points, but again, if it had been flag ball or touch, I think he would have had those same numbers. Well, I can remember one time it seems like one of the lead draws. I mean, somebody got turned loose in the hole, or a safety ran up in there, and I mean, and literally Sanders did that, and you know, the youngster fell down. I can remember seeing that from watching it, but it was just, it was like they were trying to tackle a ghost.
The same thing, just them not being able to tackle him. I remember him continuously scoring, and I think he was out of the game in the middle of the 3rd quarter. The thing about that season that was amazing is that he didn't play past the 3rd quarter except for 3 games because we were so far ahead of everybody else. Probably would have run up some numbers that may be difficult for anybody to ever get close to if he'd have played the entire game. But they just couldn't tackle him, and he had the 5 touches, and we took him out. I think it was 4 or 5 minutes left in the 3rd quarter.
Sanders put on another incredible display in front of the home crowd on October 1st against Tulsa. He found the end zone 5 times and broke the school record for yardage for the first of 3 times in the '88 season. Sanders finished the day with 304 yards on 33 carries as the Cowboys beat TU 56-35.
So it was a record-setting performance for Barry Sanders as he continued his march toward the Heisman Trophy, and surely one of the all-time great seasons in the history of college football. The story of Cowboy defensive lineman Tonga Tea is unique to say the least. A young man who didn't even know if he wanted to play football turns into a starter in the Big 12. In our front and center piece this week, we talked to Tonga about his background and about adjusting to the play at this level.
Definitely the speed. The speed of the game is huge. there's a big jump between the D1 level and JUCO.
What made you think this is the right place for you? You're a long way from home. Why was this the right fit?
I don't know, I just like it. The people are nice, Stillwater's nice. All my teammates, my brothers are good. I like them.
Now, what's the biggest difference between football in Alaska and what we experience in a football crazy state like Oklahoma when you were playing in high school? What's the difference?
I don't have any long sleeves. I'm not wearing a sweater under my pads. So that's pretty much it. The heat, humidity gets me every time.
Now, as I was reading a story about you, you really did. Were you planning to play football in junior college, or is that something? Take us through how you ended up playing junior college football, because I think that story is a little bit unique.
I ended up playing because I want to hang out with my friends, and all my friends played football. And I couldn't hang out with them from like 12 to 6, so I got a little lonely. I figured I'd join the football team.
So the guy that was lonely ends up playing in the Big 12 and starting. Could you have imagined that would happen, from wanting to hang out with your buddies to, playing in one of the elite conferences in college football? I mean, was that a thought that ever ran through your mind?
It really wasn't. It really wasn't. I just wanted to play scout team and hang out on the sidelines and talk to people.
The unique story of Tongatea, it's an interesting one, isn't it?
Well, he is an interesting person. His family and their background, they've moved around the country. Never recruited a player that's lived in Alaska at some point. Likes to hunt, likes to fish, got a great personality. And I'm sure he probably talked about not ever thinking he would play college football. And he likes to be around the team. He's become a better player this year. He's in better physical condition, and he's going to graduate from here, which is tremendous. But he's really a special part of our team. The culture that he brings into our team, the players always give him a hard time, and got a great personality. And that's one of the joyful things about being a coach, is you get to be around players like him and be around different people from different backgrounds and learn more about them. It's really a special part of it.
Coming up, second half highlights of the Cowboys' win over Missouri State when Inside Cowboy Football continues.
It's a tackle at the 10, skirts by a guy at the 5, and he dives into the end zone. Pistols firing, touchdown, Keith Toasted.
We're back on Inside Cowboy Football with Oklahoma State head football coach Mike Gundy. 3 100-yard rushers. Now, for a lot of schools, that's unusual. Actually, it's the second time in 2 years that your team has done it, but getting all those tailbacks, basically a dozen or so carries, how important is that to give them not only quality reps, but successful repetitions and plays?
We're excited about all 3 of them playing. Kendall has had some really good days for us and has been reliable. But when you get to a point in the game where you're far enough ahead that you think you have the game in hand, the other guys need to play, and especially the running backs. Keith Toaston's been a good player for us this year. Bo got some carries. He needs to learn to take care of the football better. He put the ball on the ground twice, and I think he'll learn from that. But they averaged 11, 12 carries each, which is really good. Keeps them all fresh. They can watch the tape and learn from it, and hopefully we can keep those guys healthy all year.
How valuable was it to play as many players as you did on both sides of the ball, thinking of the long term?
We played several guys that really hadn't played much in their career, and even though we were ahead by 30 or 40 points at that time, you're still out there playing for the first time, and you get a little nervous, and you want to play well. So hopefully they got some of that out of them. We'd like to stay healthy the entire year. But chances are we're going to need some of those players as the season progresses. We're going to need some of those young wide receivers, some of those offensive linemen, those young guys. Mosley, the freshman tight end, got a lot of work today. He dropped the ball and hit him right there, and he hadn't dropped that ball in practice in 5 weeks. But it's the first time he's out there. Snap count messed with him a little bit. So it was really good to get them all out there. And plus, at the end of the game, we're able to play some of the guys that walk on and have a great contribution in our football program. They're demonstration guys each week. They run the other team's offense and defense. They're just good people that love football. They love being around a team, paying for their own education, and they're with us 3 and 4 hours a day. We have a lot of respect for those guys, and boy, it's awesome to get them in the game and let them play.
You played 3 quarterbacks. Alex Cate was the first to come in, then Brandon Whedon. Have you identified who the number 2 guy really is, or are you concerned about that? can you evaluate anything from today's performance in making that decision if you haven't made it already?
Just from watching, without looking at the tape, obviously Alex executed okay. We thought that both quarterbacks handled the offense well, and that's a big part of what we do, is just managing our offense and the snap count and the signals and understanding everything we do in the tempo of the game. We'll have to watch on tape, but it was good that we got those guys in there. I don't think they threw the ball particularly well, but for the most part it was good to get them in the game and watch them execute the offense.
Sort of as a final thought, Matt Fodge did not punt in the game until, goodness, probably 7 or 8 minutes were left in the contest, and then when he does, he's very successful.
Well, Matt is a great weapon for us, and our punt team has had success this year, and we have a lot of confidence in his ability, and he did a nice job of downing them inside the 5 and the 10, and then the last time up he drove one. I think we had a 60-yard net on that punt, so he's a good weapon for us, and he's a guy that's really dedicated and works extremely hard, so should be very valuable for us when we get into league play.
Alex Cate in at quarterback. Bo Johnson, the tailback, to his right as Cate works out of the shotgun. Cate takes the snap, makes a handoff. He'll run it on the right side to the 35. Cuts toward the right sideline at the 40 and is flung down at the Cowboy 40. Cate takes the snap, hands it off to Bo Johnson, off left guard, big hole to midfield, and Johnson popped down at the 47 of Missouri State, near a first down. Cate takes a snap, hands it off to Johnson, off right tackle to the 45, to the 40, big hole, and Bo Johnson all the way down to the Missouri State 32. Cate takes a shotgun snap, hands it off to Tostin up the middle, breaks a tackle at the 30, takes it to the 25, veers off to his right at the 20. And a handoff to Bo Johnson running on the right sideline, and he steps out of bounds near the first down marker at about the 6 as the Cowboys snapped it quickly at 2nd and goal from the half-yard line for OSU. And Cate with a quarterback sneak off right guard. He took a low route, then tried to go up over the top of his center. Did he get in?
Oh, are you kidding
No signal yet. Boy, I thought he did. He did. State from its own 23. Kirby in the shotgun, one back set, and he hands it off to King Jack Washington, and he's hit at the line of scrimmage and stuffed. Maybe a yard on the play. Patrick Levine, the linebacker, with the stop. Cate in the shotgun. Alex takes the snap, pumps, sets up a screen, throws it to Tostin, left side with blockers in front to the 45, to the 40, down the left sideline to the 30, and finally tackled from behind all the way down at the Missouri State 22. A gain of 29 yards. First and goal for the 15. A handoff to Tostin up the middle, breaks a tackle at the 10, squirts by a guy at the 5, and he dives into the end zone. Pistols firing. Touchdown, Keith Tostin. On 1st and 10, handoff to Tostin, off right tackle, big hole to the 30, 35, breaks a tackle at the 40, and Keith Tostin is loose down the right sideline. It's a foot race. Tostin to the 30, to the 20 of Missouri State, and tackled at the 18-yard line. Bo Johnson in at tailback, and he takes a handoff, off right tackle to the 15, right side to the 10, crashes to a tackler at the 5, and dives into the end zone. Pistols firing. 3rd and 9, Missouri State from its own 24 as Kirby takes a shotgun snap, throws over the middle, it's incomplete. Alex takes a snap, hands it off to Tostin up the middle, breaks a tackle at the 43 and squirts all the way up to the Cowboy 49. Fakes a handoff, rolls out right, hit as he throws the ball, fluttering in the air. The ball is tipped and falls incomplete. Markel Martin almost had the interception.
We're back with Oklahoma State head football coach Mike Gundy, now after 3 weeks and 3 victories and off week. Do you think it comes at a good time?
Well, they always come at a good time as a coach. The players get to get 4 good practices in, put a game plan in and work on it, but spend some time on fundamentals, blocking and tackling and running routes and throwing and backpedaling, all the basics. And then we work a little bit on our upcoming opponent.
Is it especially a good time for this open week to have 3 games in and have a lot of junior college players who are trying to learn. Is this a pretty good time because you have some games to work from and yet you have some teaching time too? Does it fall at a pretty good time in that way?
I think so, because they got a lot of reps today. And they'll be able to grade themselves on tape and understand when they're playing full speed and when they're not. Sometimes those guys that are new, whether they're a freshman or a junior college player, they think they're playing full speed. And they watch the tape and they see they're not because they're thinking. So they're able to see themselves, evaluate it, correct those mistakes, and try to get better before the next game.
For head coach Mike Gundy, I'm Dave Hunziker. Thanks for watching Inside Cowboy Football.